Shalom, it's Selfie Carats. Yeah, so let me see this clearly. So welcome back to your Celtic Astrology reading. It could be love, general, which that is the message that I am like mostly channeling into. Whatever message you need and what other tree you need to connect with, okay? So I feel like when you listen to these readings, always, set the intention to find, I guess, more value in other trees and other Celtic zodiacs. Okay, so we're going to be using the Celtic Tree Oracle, such a pretty deck, and then we're going to be using the traditional Rider Tarot and the mini version. Okay, so we got the 5 of Wands for Birch, and we got the Moon. Okay, I'm gonna just say that number, Moon Vine. Okay, 11. Okay, so let's just see. I'm gonna just go ahead and put them two together. Oh, we got the 5 of Wands. Let's talk about the 5 of Wands. So there's a conflict, okay, Birch. There's a conflict in what you feel. Because this is December 24th to the January 20th. There's a conflict in how you feel. You kind of like to give more to others without, being the one who, I guess, doesn't have a stick, if that makes sense. I feel like you don't want to not have an ace in something. You don't not want to have a stick, but I feel like the decision making that you're having towards this abundance, or the resistance that you're having towards this abundance, is truly, going to backfire. I don't know. I just feel like there's a backfire energy that's coming with that decision. Okay. So we got this. So the key words is bringing things into fruition. Okay, abundance, harvest, community. Okay, so I feel like there's a discord in the community that you feel like you're not going to be able to have a strong position in because you chose a different path, or your wand represents something differently. Okay, and then we have prophecy, psychic, enjoyment, celebration, laughter, abundance once again, and then we have summer, intoxication, and an ecstasy. Okay. So let me talk about this when it's in reverse. Perhaps you are too uptight or overly controlled about a situation in your life. If so, let go and allow yourself some downtime. Allow your inhibitions to relax, okay? So you may be overly proud or condescending now, okay? So watch the tendency to lord it over others or feel superior. Others may see you as selfish or egocentric, which is the energy that I am picking up on, okay? Especially when you choose to fight with someone, is it because you're not having a form of self-awareness? And granted, you can address something without fighting towards something, okay? Or fighting against something. Okay, so, we got a lot of reversals. So we got the Gold Grove, okay? So you can see that in this upright. But then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse as well, okay? So there's a form that somebody is stopping you from communicating the way or that you desire to communicate. And I feel like there's kind of like been a push to, speak up for yourself. A push to really speak forward to what you want to say, okay? So let's talk about it, okay? So the keywords is all knowledge. So it's something that you know that you need to communicate. We have silence, meditation, prayer, initiation, great spirit, source of the mystery, the temple, sacred places, unity, oneness, community, tree teachings, okay? So you are a teacher at this point. And then divinity, recommitment to spiritual path, okay? And also communication with ancestors, communication with spirit, unity, consciousness, and universal intelligence, totems, guides, and deities on the spiritual plane, loved ones, and animals who have passed over. Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I feel via, personally, because, I just had a loved one pass. His number just passed as well. And I was like, wow, I feel like I have, like, so much to communicate for him. But, I have to figure out, what path in my spirituality he genuinely represents, and that is my spiritual love. Okay, so in reverse, your isolation may be cutting you off from important regeneration. Okay, so perhaps you are too busy to go within. Have you become so enamored with the world outside of you that you have forgotten all about your inner world? Perhaps you fill every moment of your life with noise, drama, and activity. You cannot address spiritual matters until you discover your own spiritual needs, okay? Consider your priorities. Set boundaries to support your inner life accordingly. Also make rooms for silence and contemplation, okay? So this could be that. This could be that silence that you are neglecting to avoid. Yeah. So what we're going to do this weekend, Rowan? Silence. Silencio, okay? But I had already put it in. I had already put it in my plans to be silent this week. So we got the Heather or the mistletoe, okay, and then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse, okay. So that Queen of Wands coming in. That Queen of Wands coming in. You guys can go watch Freaky Fridays meditation. The feminine had that as well, so that may be you know, beneficial for you. But this is gonna be for Ash, okay. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. But kissing, okay? So then we have healing, spiritual development, making contact with the spiritual dimensions, fertility. Okay, so that could be someone, you know, suffering with infertility right now, okay? And you are trying to address how to get into that, you know, that vibration of really being able to bear something in full term, okay? Solid foundations, the spiritual path, and all heal, okay? So when this is in reverse, summer is a time of fullness, but you may feel you are not in the flow. Perhaps you are blocking messages and help from other dimensions, be it guides, helpers, totems, ancestors, or divinity, okay? So this is a time to open up to love, dreams, and possibilities, but you may feel you are in a hopeless situation and on your own, okay? So again, being able to tap into your own will allow you to really, you know, kind of hear what you need to, you know, use to direct yourself on that path, okay? Because it does talk about solid foundations, okay? And that solid foundation is being able to be sound in your own, you know, your womb, okay? Okay, so let's move on to outer. So then we have, Noon Hash. Okay, so Ash and Hash, okay? So then we got the Two of Swords. Okay, so there's choosing to not be aware of something, choosing to not be in the now, okay? Choosing to not be in the now. So what number is that? We got the 5. So 5 is also a number of change, but it's also a number of information, okay? So the microcosm, and the macrocosm, reflections, mirrors, okay? So that's a mirror. Uniting inner and outer worlds. 51. Oh, that's number. Yeah, but anyway, 5 is coming up next. 5 right now. Okay. As above, so below. Okay. So again, you realize this decision making will result in something that you see and something that you don't see. Okay. So you must have, you know, like I said, this is my Two of Swords is always long term, short term, and that is what is as above, so below's message, like underlying message really is. Okay. Because for one, it must exist up here first, and then it must exist below. So you will be seeing what you may exist up there down here, if that makes sense, okay? So then we have, that's in the upright. Okay. Okay, so you get this in a reading. Expect to connect with your own inner tree. Represents your center and connects you to your inner world, okay? And the outer world. Here you experience the meaning of the axiom, as above, so below. This is a place of great guidance. It links you to the universal knowledge and can help you understand yourself, your thoughts, feelings, and actions. To access this knowledge, pay attention to your dreams, seek communication with your higher self and with the divinity. Follow your intuition and the dictates of your higher heart and mind, okay? So we're going to move on to Willow. We got the 10 of Wands in reverse, and then we got the Gorse, okay? That is that energy of, okay, but I always said pay attention to that yellow. That yellow is also that, you know, fertility as well. So we got 17. Let's see. Okay, so the keywords are fulfillment, abundance, sweetness, hope, persistence, links to the inner and outer worlds, gathering together, and what you need to ensure progress, okay? So this is upright. So when you get this in a reading, it represents abundance, which again, that yellow and that fruitful abundance of. It is a hallmark of generosity. You are encouraged to share what you have with others now. Giving is the best way to receive. It is all about sweetness. So how do you create the nectar of the honey in your life? Okay, so that would be the question that you ask yourself. Because remember, honey words is honey spirit. All right, so then we have the IOHO-U. And then we have the 7 of Cups in reverse, okay? So the 7 of Cups in reverse is also that illusion of something, okay? Also not being able to see the big picture, but also being able to create I guess what do you call it? Like a little blah of what's going on, like the reality, okay? The reality isn't as, you kind of distort it on your own for a purpose, okay? For the purpose of something. So that's the number 20. So 2 decades. Ooh, Okay, so the letters are I, J, Y. All right, so the keywords are death and rebirth. Okay, legacy, ancestors, transition, transformation, transmutation. Okay, so again, you transmute in the reality that you have that exists right now, because you are the kind of the magician of something. Okay, and then we have reincarnation, endings and beginnings, and regeneration. Okay, this is in reverse. So when you get this in reverse, you might be fighting the inevitable and delaying a necessary decision. You may be avoiding releasing something out of fear. Grief may be so overwhelming that it's hard to function. But remember, grief is a process, and in time you will return to your life. You are being asked to embrace change, but you may be fighting it instead. Okay, willpower isn't relevant right now. Okay, patience is the only way through this period. Love yourself through these changes. Surrender to what it is. Don't fight the process. Also seek solitude. Okay, seek the solitude that you desire. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was Hawthorne, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna move on to oak. Yeah, we're gonna move on to oak. Okay. So we got the Uliland honeysuckle. What do you see when you see that? Honeysuckle. And then we got the King of Wands. Okay, so these two are both coming underneath each other. I like the way I spread it out this time. So these two are coming, you know, kind of the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands are both mirroring each other. And that was the kind of the number I wanted to discuss with Outer's message, okay? So we got 23. Let me see. Okay, so the letters are going to be U-I, P-E, and then P. So the keywords are seeking, hidden secrets, the lantern that lights the path, so that could be the hermit energy, and then a need to protect something important, soul, discovery, bringing light to darkness, and then hidden treasure, illumination, clarity, restoration, and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay, so the King of Wands, he's also really kind of displaying, like if he's in reverse, he's not really giving you the energy of the fulfillment that you need. Okay, so there's something that he's blocking spiritually within his phallic, okay, because he knows he wants to provide something with you in a more congruent manner, and you both are mirroring that image. Okay, you're like, something needs to be, either created or illuminated for both of us. Okay, so this comes in reverse. Okay, so it also indicates insecurity. Yep, that's a spiritual block. Insecurity is a spiritual block. Okay, that is a state of mind that must be addressed. True security has nothing to do with failure or self in the world. Okay, but with recognizing your true nature, which is already perfect and whole, if you are feeling less than, it is time for your prayer or inner renewal. Okay, if you feel burned out or lost, circle again around yourself and into yourself. Okay, around yourself and then into yourself. Okay, so then we got Holly. Ooh, we got the Six of Swords. That is also, and then Blackthorn. So that is that spiritual elevation that is going to allow you to let go of something to gain something in return. Okay, so we got 14. Okay, 14. Got 14. Okay, keywords: protection, boundaries, fate, strife, negation, outside influences, disruption, learning from challenges, drawn on spiritual strength, and new direction or opportunity, which is also a renewal. So if they have a new direction, that Six of Swords will allow you to go towards that. Okay, so we got this. If this is reversed, it indicates perhaps that you are dwelling on your difficulty and letting it overcome you. It is possible that you are feeding the negative by your words, thoughts, and actions. Okay, if this is the case, the negativity in the situation can only increase. If you focus on what you don't like or what you don't want, you will only get that. Okay, you will only get that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Hazel, and then we're gonna go on to we got the Moon. So this is the shadow. So this is something that you are needing to dig out of yourself. That imagery of. Then this is the Aspen. What do you find most prominent? I see this blue. This blue is really indicating to me, and that's that blue is also, you're gonna identify and be able to strongly articulate those emotions. Okay, that blue, even if it's not blue, like that's the feeling, it's blue in what you know, blue in what you know. Blue is a thought. Okay, so that means identification of something. Let me see. Okay, so then we got, what number is that? That's 19. That 19, girl, that 19. All right, so the aspen, adversity, okay, so the moon, so adverse with the feelings, endurance, determination, spiritual strength, the small voice of God, guidance, encouragement, courage, protection, rebirth, and sacrifice, okay? So you must sacrifice the day to, enjoy the night, okay? You must sacrifice the night to enjoy the day. So that is in reverse. So you may be tempted to give up and give in. You may feel that the cards are stacked against you and that there is absolutely nothing you can do to turn to the tide, okay? This card offers you a reminder of the endurance of the popular aspen. These two trees have come to assure you that the sense of helplessness will not last, okay? You will only have to get through this time of stagnation or loss of, and indeed things will change. Change your sense of gloom by allowing the leaves of the popular aspen to speak to your heart, okay? So like I said, I personally gravitated towards the color blue in this image, but you can gravitate to whatever color you feel is necessary for you, okay? So we're gonna move on to the vine. Ooh, we got the Six of Wands, which is that celebrity card, and we got the quartz apple, okay? Let's see how these two communicate with each other. But I also indicate from this Six of Wands being, kind of not accepting who you are in the first place, okay? So let's see the 10. Kind of like a lack of self-acceptance. So then we got the female lineage, okay, decision, choices, beauty, abundance, regeneration, fertility, and then motherhood, okay? So the quartz apple, okay. So if this card comes in a reading, you are granted many boons and blessings. Okay, so again, not accepting the blessings that are coming towards you, the acceptance that the blessing that comes with your status. Okay, you are reminded to be grateful and to count those blessings. Appreciation is in order. Okay, look to the paradise that you live in and do what you can to protect her. Okay, so that means your inner femininity. That means the person that is in the forefront. Protect that image. Okay, protect that integrity of. Whew. Okay, so then we got Ivy. I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. So we got the Lewis Rowan. Okay, so go ahead and talk to Rowan. That was the Knight of Swords, so that was that spiritual, communication that it was needing to be had. So I'm gonna let you look at this real quick and what colors and what, what parts of the image does it attract to you. Okay, so then we got the King of Swords. These two are communicating. So this is something that was even bigger of an announcement to you. Okay, there's something that's going to be even of a bigger vocal acceptance that you have to yourself. Okay, being able to vocally defend yourself is one thing, but being able to actually continue to kind of demonstrate that strength is another. Okay, so the keywords are protection. Okay, there's again protection of self, and then we have intuition, discrimination, spiritual strength, being able to speak on that, ecstasy, which is also the the highest form of pleasure. Okay, so I want to say kind of like this: find a high in defending the guy, or find a high in defending the logic. Okay, and then we have astral travel. Okay, being able to go from here to there, and other means. Okay, because again, if this is logic, then you have to go into that moon energy, that Neptunian. Okay, so you have to be able to logically be able to put yourself in that environmental state. And we have connection with the mystery, and then magic. Okay, so logically be able to explain to yourself magic does exist. But if you see this in a reading, Rowan offers you protection. So when you go there, you're going to be able to come back. And then this may refer to protection from actual enemies, or simply from people or situations you do not trust. Okay, so a lot of times we don't speak up for ourselves because we don't trust that we are defending ourselves to the proper I think about our black ancestors. If you are of African American descent, it was hard to really speak up because we was like, oh well, not even just going into the master slave, but like in the 1960s, it was hard to really speak up and defend the things that we knew were our right of territory. Okay, so being able to identify your own territory and being able to really put yourself in a position to know that, hey, I'm always protected in whatever mission that I have, I'm standing my ground in. Okay, so this kind of reminded me of that Seven of Wands energy. Okay, so again, Lewis Rowan will make you aware of others' manipulations or power plays, and also may alert you to your own manipulations. Okay, so she asks you to keep your wits about you and allows you to discriminate between what is good for you and what is not. Okay, so let's move on to read, and then we have Elder. So we have Hazel and the Three of Pentacles in reverse, okay? This telling you that everybody don't want to work with you. Everybody don't want to see you win only because they can't win within, okay? If you're not right within, you can't win, or however that song goes by Lauryn Hill, okay? So then we got 9, that's the Hazel, okay? So you might want to go up to Hazel's reading and kind of get, you know, some more information as well. That maybe, you know, you may be communicating with that person in particular, you know. That's how that can go. That's how that can go in this reading, okay? So let's see. Call Hazel, okay? So the letters could be C and K if that needs, you know, a little bit more identification for you. So that's the water, moon, bounty, abundance, intuition, wisdom, knowledge, sage advice, divination, poetry, creative pursuits, okay? So people you may not need to share these creative ideas with others, okay? And then we have higher perspective and clarity, okay? So if you find this in a reading, it is change of the moon, the lunar principle of receptivity, okay? So meaning being able to know what's, you know, being able to know and decipher your gifts, okay? And then mystery, the goddess of Sophia, or higher wisdom. Also not questioning where things come from, but again, knowing that, you know, because then this is kind of like everybody kind of like putting in their ideas. And this is where like you like really like, oh, where did this come from? It's like, well, this idea came because it has, you know, fruits of labor. So when you do what your ancestor needs you to do, and they give you insight, they expect you to act on that insight and really put, you know, your full dedication to it, and they will make the way for those things to exist, okay? And they are all relevant now. So that relevancy, when you get that insight now, it's not something that you like, oh, well, this is not relevant, I don't know what to do with it. No, they know exactly what you need to do with it, so they want you to do something with it, okay? And then your female lineages have something to say to you as your spiritual heritage, okay? So take some quiet time to tune in and listen for their nurturing messages, okay? If you were looking for a solution and profit, they will bring you that solution and profit, okay? So then we have Elder. Ooh, Elder with Elder. And then we have the World in reverse, okay? So pay attention to this card because it is yours. Oh, I love this purple. I love the shades of purple, okay? It remind me, I can't remember the card. Oh, it remind me of the Knight of Wands in my Afro-Americano deck. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so we have the World in reverse. Okay, so let's decide what is not being addressed worldwide or world issue. You could be consumed by world issues. You feel like you have to fight them all, but you do not, okay? So the letter could be R, so there could be some relevancy in the letter R for you. But it's also renewal, transformation, release. Okay, so release your seatbelt. Body, leg. Okay, so that's kind of like being able to save yourself from a plane crash or something that's too astrally high for you, okay? But that's also caldron, death, birth, and rebirth cycles, okay? Endings and beginnings, ancestors, elders. So elder with the elder. So you're going to be now communicating with those who are way older than you, but not even like, you know, next in level. Because 10-year, 20-year difference is nothing. Talk about them 40, 50-year differences, okay, in age gaps, which would be a lot more, you know, insightful because they have a lot more decades to really help you see the future of, but not even just the current decade they were born in. Like literally their parents are of, you know, 60 and 80 more years older than you, or maybe even 90, or maybe even 100 years of older than you, okay? So those are the elders that you want to, you know, gain that information from to really, you know, place yourself prominently in the world without fear, okay? So really the World in reverse to me is almost kind of like saying it's you're fearing it, okay? When I do it like this, that is, you know, a reflection of you being in the upright, but you thinking in the reverse, okay? So then we have, okay, so this also represents a threshold, okay? So if you kind of can see the ring is a form of protection, okay? That's also Saturn. The card is Saturn, but also you have to think about the fixed signs that may be a help to you, okay? So that means Leo, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio, okay? So again, that transformation, that death, that logic, but also that humanitarian energy. But then we have the Taurus, which is stability, but also home, and then throat, communication. And then we also have Leo, which is your sun and natural talents, okay? So then as you stand at the door, take time to review your year and to honor it, okay? That's that door. That's that door that you have to accept yourself into, okay? What 2 wands have you learned to perform with, okay? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, okay. So, let go of that which is no longer relevant, but saves the seeds of new hopes and potentials that care for over the winter. Okay, so that was your Celtic tree astrology zodiac reading. You guys, if you are interested in this reading and it's found relevancy to you, please make sure you thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see you guys in next week's Friday video. Ciao bellos.